8. Welcome to lesson 8. This week we're going to be learning a new song. We're going to be bending the rules a little bit as well. Up until now I've sort of showed you a little bit of theory, as it were, and then we used that and we applied that, and whatever we did came from that. This week we're not really going to do that. I'm just going to show you something really cool. It's a 12-bar blues. So we're going to learn how to play and understand what 12 bars are, and we're going to learn a song at the same time. So let's check out what 12-bar blues looks like. And there we have it. That was the 12-bar blues. We are going to learn that song this lesson. So we're going to need to learn some new chords. We're going to need to learn that strumming pattern. Then we're going to need to understand what the 12 bars looks like and how we structure it. And then we're going to piece that all together by the end of the lesson, and we're going to play the 12-bar blues. So this is going to take a lot of time, a lot of practice. It's a catchy tune, so that will help a lot with learning this song. So let's get straight to it. 12-bar blues. New chords. Right, we need to learn a few new chords for this 12-bar blues. We have learned some simplified chords and some simple looking shapes. We've also expanded on that a little bit with Oasis Wonderwall. We started playing with more fingers on the guitar. Now these 3 chords are 3 full chords, so we're going to need to give them a lot of time and a lot of practice. And I'm going to go through them one by one. There's only 3 of them. We only need to learn 3 chords today. So let's get straight to the first chord. And the first chord is going to be an E major. Right, so you'll notice the E minor that we have played. What we're going to do is we're going to not use our first finger. We're going to use these 2 fingers, the middle finger and the ring finger, and we're going to put them exactly where the E minor went, like that. Not on your thickest string, on your second thickest string at the 2nd fret, the 3rd thickest string at the 2nd fret, and now this first finger is going to come down onto your 3rd thinnest string in the 1st fret, and that is our E major. Alright. So let's take our hands away again. 2nd finger and 3rd finger for the E minor position, like that. And then our 1st finger in the 1st box, the 1st fret, down on the 3rd thinnest string at the 1st fret. It looks like that. Right, so take some time, make sure you've got your notes printed, and have a look at that E minor and read it from the chord diagram as well. So once we've got the E minor, we're just going to take a few notes. We're going to make sure our fingers are nice and arched. And we're going to make sure that we're pushing our wrist forward a little bit. There's going to need to be a gap underneath this part here on this thin string. If this finger's being lazy and it flops down like that, it's going to mute these strings, which we don't particularly want to do right now. So we've got to make sure you're using the very tips of your fingers, and they're nice and arched and upright like that. At first it'll seem a bit difficult and you've got to struggle. That's just because your hand needs to strengthen and you need to build that muscle memory. So that is your E major. Let's just strum it a couple times together. And 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need more time for that, just stop the video and practice that E major on your own. Right, the next chord we need to look at is the A major, and we're not going to move our hands just yet, so keep them in that E major position. Next chord is the A major. It's the full A major. We learned the A2, which is almost like the A major. What we're going to do is we're going to lift these two fingers up, and we're just going to bring them down to the second thinnest and the third thinnest string in the second box, second fret. And we have to push these right up against the fret, because we're going to take our first finger and we're going to place our first finger on the next string up, the third thickest, and we're going to push that down on the second fret as well. So you've got 3 fingers in the same fret, all on the second fret. It's not on your thickest, it's not on your second thickest, it's the next 3 strings, and then you've got your open again. And you'll notice the X, don't play this string. And that is our A major. It takes a lot of time getting used to it. All these fingers have got to be pushed nice together and as close up to the fret as possible. And that's what you get. So take your fingers away, and we're going to take these 3 fingers, put them together like that, and we're going to put them all in the second fret, just not on the thickest, not on the second thickest, on the third thickest, the third thinnest, and the second thinnest, all in that second fret like that. And then we're going to strum down from the second thickest string, the A. Alright, once we've got that, we're going to strum it together a couple times. 2, 3, 4, again. 1, 2, 3, 4, again. 1. Good, and that is the A major. We're going to be revisiting these chords again, so don't worry if you haven't quite got it yet. Now what we do is we take this first finger, we lift it up, and then we gently relax these 2 fingers, and we move them up 2 strings back to that E minor position, and then first finger in the first fret comes back to that first fret, third thinnest string for the E major. Alright, give your hands a break. So what we've learned is we've learned the E major and we've learned the A major. What I'm doing is I'm showing you how to move your fingers from E to A in the sort of most economical way for now to play those chords. Once you've practiced them enough, you'll be able to jump straight to the A, you'll be able to jump straight to the E, and you'll be able to jump to all these different chords easily enough. But for now, as we're learning new songs, I'm showing you how to move from the E to the A, and then we're going to do the next chord, the B, and all that sort of stuff, in a particular order that suits the 12 bar, so that we don't have to overcomplicate the matter. Alright, so stop the video, give your hands a break. You need to just learn a chord, learn 2 chords, give your hand a break, and then continue on and on. So once your hands are feeling a little bit better, we're going to try that E major again. E major, it's like the E minor with these 2 middle fingers and this finger in at the first fret on the third thinnest string. And it's all of the strings, you give that a strum. Great. This finger comes up and you move these 2 fingers together down 2 strings so that you're on the second thinnest and the third thinnest. Then make sure you've pushed them right up against the fret nicely, and you take your first finger and you place that on the third thickest string, also in the second box, second fret. So those 3 fingers are together like that. Alright, bit of a squeeze. You're going to find that you will hit dead notes and get buzzes and all that sort of stuff in the beginning. Don't worry about that, just play through it. Alright, so we've got that A as well. Great. Now, what we do is we're going to lift this finger up, take these two fingers together and just gently move them back up to that E minor position. 2 strings, so not on your thickest, the next 2 strings. First finger back down on the 1st fret, 3rd thinnest. So we're not playing this thickest string. We've got a finger here, and a finger on these strings here. 5th, 4th, and the 3rd. Those are where your fingers are. So your first finger shouldn't be behind another finger. You can't really have 2 fingers on the same string because this one's making no difference whatsoever. So make sure they're all on those 3 strings. Right, that E minor, there we have it. Okay, just relax your hand, but keep it in that position so it doesn't get too tired. We're now on to the B7, the 3rd chord that we need for this song. What we're going to do is we're going to move our first finger up a string, so it's behind this one, so it's on the 3rd thickest in the 1st box. Then we're going to take our ring finger and we're going to move it down a string, so they're no longer on the same strings. So you've got open string, 2nd finger on your 2nd thickest at the 2nd fret. Then you've got your 1st finger underneath that in the 1st fret on your 3rd thickest string. So these two kind of looks like a C or a G. And then we've got this ring finger on the 2nd fret on your 3rd thinnest string, like that. You create a bit of a triangle. If you were to look at the chord in the diagram, you'll notice it looks a bit like a triangle. So you've got a finger, and you've got your 2nd finger, 1st finger in the middle of that, and 3rd finger underneath that. And that is your B7. Let's give that a strum. Again, don't play the thickest string. We're going to strum down from the 2nd thickest. And it's probably not going to sound like that for now. It's going to sound very buzzy, lots of fret buzz, lots of muted strings. Don't worry about it for now, just play through it. That is your B7. Good. Take your fingers away. Now we're going to take this 2nd finger and we're going to put it on 2nd thickest at the 2nd fret. 1st finger a string lower on the 3rd thickest at the 1st fret, so it looks like a C or a G. And then ring finger on your 3rd thinnest string, just underneath all the others, at the 2nd fret. So you kind of need to move your fingers around a bit to get that comfortable. That's your B7. Let's play it together. Bit of a strange sounding chord. On its own, just as is, it sounds a bit strange, but that in context with the song, it's going to sound great. Alright, and that's your B7. Then all we've got to do is we've got to lift our ring finger and move it down a string to the 2nd fret, 2nd thinnest. Pick these 2 up and pop them in one above the next to create our A again. And that is our A. Then we take our 1st finger away and we move these 2 up to the E minor position, and we put our 1st finger back in at the 1st fret on the 3rd thinnest string, and that's back to our E. Then we lift our 1st finger up and we move it up a string to the 3rd thickest 1st fret, and we take our ring finger and we drop it down a string to our 3rd thinnest 2nd fret for the B7. Alright, so now we've gone through those chords. You've got your sheet in front of you, hopefully, with those chords printed out in their diagrams. Spend some time on each chord. Hold the E, strum it 1,000 times. Same for A and same for B7. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you those chords. I'm going to hold them, we're going to strum them a couple of times each, and then we'll move up to the next chord and the next chord. And then when we learn the song, we'll revisit how to change from one chord to another slowly. So lots of practice on this, lots and lots of practice. What I'm going to include in the notes is 4 E's, 2 A's, 2 E's, a B, A, and an E, and a B. Don't need to memorize that now. That's going to just show you, once you've learned the chords, which order to play them in and which order to change chords to prepare us for the 12-bar blues. So you'll find that in your notes. It'll be a little exercise. Right, so back to the E major. These two fingers, middle and ring, on the 2nd fret, not on the thickest. And your first finger, and that's the E minor position. First finger drops to the 3rd thinnest in the 1st fret. That's your E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Take your fingers away. All 3 of these fingers together, starting on your 2nd thinnest at the 2nd fret, and then they just fold in like that, so that you're not on the thickest, not on the 2nd thickest, you're on the next 3 strings with an open thinnest. Strumming from the 2nd thickest down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Time. And take your fingers away. The very last chord, the B7, you're going to take your 2nd finger, not on your thickest, on your 2nd thickest at the 2nd box, 2nd fret. First finger, 1st fret on your 3rd thickest. And then ring finger, not on your thinnest, not on your 2nd thinnest, your 3rd thinnest, to create that triangle. We're not playing our thickest string, we're strumming from our 2nd thickest string down together, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 2, 3. And there we have it. Those are the 3 new chords you need to learn. So take your notes out, have a look at the E in the diagram, and practice that over and over and over. Once you're happy with that, you practice the A, and once you're happy with that, the B7. Make sure that when you play the chord and you strum it a number of times, you take your hand away and you try it again. You take your hand away and try it again. And you do that for all of the chords till it starts making more sense, till you've kind of memorized them. Then you can practice the little exercise I've given you there, which is just going to show you play E 4 strums however many times, then play the A, the E, and the B, etc., etc. So there's a nice exercise for you that prepares you for the song. Alright, and that is basically your 3 new chords. Strumming pattern. Right, we need to look at what we're going to do with the right hand on this song. It's got its own unique little strumming pattern, so we just need to learn that, and then we'll be ready to play the song. So make sure you've practiced those chords a lot, because you're going to need to be able to play these, kind of focus on this a little bit without having to worry too much about the chords. So make sure those chords are ingrained in you really well before you tackle the strumming pattern. Alright, let's take a look at the strumming pattern. The strumming pattern looks like this. You've got 2 down arrows, then you've got a little line, then another down arrow, and then there's a sort of a gap in between with a little sort of line underneath that arrow. And then you've got another arrow, a down arrow, and another line. Okay, and what that is it's asking us to play a down strum, then it wants us to hit the strings like that. And then we have to strum down. What the line underneath that the last down arrow means is give it a bit of a pause, let it ring a little bit. And then you're going to play a down arrow again, and then hit the strings. So it's going to look like this. Down, down, hit, down. Give it a bit of a pause. Down, hit. Down, down, hit, down. Down, hit. That is what we are playing. So very slowly. 2 down arrows. Down, down. Hit the strings and play down again. Then down, hit. Down, down, hit, down, down, hit. Down, down, hit, down, down, hit. Down, down, hit, down, down, hit. Now that hit, you're trying to get a sort of a slapping sound on the strings. So you don't want to hit here, that would be cool, but it's not what we're playing in this sort of song. So we're hitting the string, so we get that sound. So your hand just comes down, it hits the strings and it sort of holds there for a second. You don't want to do that, you want to hit the strings, like that. So you're going down, down, hit, down, down, hit. Right, so let's try that very slowly together. Down, down, hit, down. Then you pause. Down, hit. Just like that. When you hit, at first you're going to get a lot of thumps and sort of that sort of sound. It's okay, just keep practicing. You'll notice your palm just needs to arch up a little bit. Like that, as you hit down, so that you kind of still wrist sort of out a bit like that. Alright, let's do that again. Down, down, hit, down, down, hit, down, down, hit, down, down, hit. Down, down, hit, down, down, hit. So you can break those up into little sections. You've got your first section, which is down, down, hit, down. Then you can kind of gather yourself again, and you're going to go down, hit. Alright, down, down, hit, down, down, hit. So what you can do now is you can stop the video, and you can practice that. Down, down, hit, down, down, hit, down, down, etc. You can also revert back into the overview and you can watch the video and you can get used to that sound. And what you can do is, whilst I play that piece of music, you can sit there and sort of think out down, down, hit, down, down, hit. And you can kind of, just by sort of, if you say that aloud, it's great. If you think it, that's great. Just by doing that, you're kind of getting the rhythm and you're getting the feel for the song. So it'll feel more natural and be a lot easier to play. So that is the strumming pattern for this hand. Down, down, hit, down, down, hit. Practice that a lot. Once you've done that, it's just going to boil down to playing chords and the different chords in the right order, which we get onto soon. So then it's going to be a lot easier. Going to be playing that same strumming pattern all the way through for all of your different chords. So what you can do is you can hold your E minor chord, your E major, the new chord we've learned, and you can just practice doing that strumming pattern over and over and over and over and over again. Down, down, hit, down, down, hit, down, 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 hit. So what we're going to do now is we're not going to play a chord. We're just going to do an open string, and I want you to be able to play along with me. So if you need a bit more time, stop the video, practice that little strumming pattern, and then pick up over here, and we're going to play that slowly together a number of times. Alright, so here we go with the strumming pattern. Down, down, hit, 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 down, 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 hit, down, down, hit, down, down, hit, down. At first, you're not particularly going to be able to play and keep along with me and get that sort of spot on. You quite quickly can get very lost. So make sure you're drilling that into your head first. I'm not going to sit here and do it over and over and over with you, because you've got the video to do that too, and you've got this little section to go and play along too. So you go through that section, you pause, and you practice it. Then you come back to what we've just done and you try and play along. Then you pause and you practice it, and you just slowly get used to it. You can also just sit there and watch me and sort of go down, down, hit, down, down, hit before you even try with his hand. And the quicker and the better you get that ingrained into your head, the better. So you'll constantly be noting it's down, down, hit, down, down, hit. Just from experience of teaching this, the people that did that develop much quicker and much faster, and they get it much better. So don't stress about, yes, but I actually have to physically play the guitar and I've got to be good at it. You don't have to. You just got to get all of that sort of stuff to subtly sort of get ingrained into you, and you get that natural rhythm and tempo for it. And you just count along, say the words along, practice the down, down, hit, down, then practice on your own. These videos are quite short, so it doesn't need to be done in 10 minutes. You can take 2 or 3 days on that. Just keep practicing down, down, hit, down, down, hit, over and over and over and over. And that is basically the strumming pattern for 12-bar blues. bar structure. Right, so we've learned the chords and we've learned the strumming pattern for playing our 12 bar. Now we need to piece that all together and put all the chords in the right order and be able to play the 12 bar blues. And the way that we do that, we need to refer to the notes. We're going to learn the structure of the 12 bar. Now basically the structure of a 12 bar is a small loop that you keep playing over and over and over for as long as you want to. And it looks like this. We've got the notes up and they say 12 bar blues, and then you've got a big square, and underneath it you've got the strumming pattern that we've learned. Right, so what happens is in the big square we draw some lines and we create 12 little boxes. Alright, and those 12 boxes are also 12 bars. So if you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 boxes, 12 bars. Alright, and this is our loop that we need to play. So you'll notice as well that they are numbered 1 through to 12. So the way we look at it is we start at number 1, then we go on to number 2, 3, 4, and those are 4 bars, and then 5 to 8, and 9 to 12. So we've got all of those 12 bars there. Then what we've got to do is some of the boxes are going to stay see-through, and some of them get shaded in. So you'll notice number 5 and number 6 and 10 all get grayed out. Alright, what we're doing is we're slowly creating a structure, a little pattern that never changes. Then we'll notice number 9 and number 12, they get X'd out. And what we're left with is a sort of box with little boxes in it. There's 12 of them. Some of them are see-through, some of them are grayed out, and some of them have X's in them. All right, now that is our 12 bar structure. It's a little pattern that we're going to follow. It's a basic 12 bar. There's different types of 12 bar. This is the basic one that we need for our song. So we've got our numbered boxes all the way through with different sort of shadings and different patterns. Now, on the side, we've got number 1, 2, and 3. And that little number 1, 2, and 3 are telling us our chords. So if we take our first chord, which is an E major, we're going to place that E major in all of those see-through boxes. So number 1 chord are the see-through boxes, and they go all the way in all the see-through boxes. Number 2, that's our A major. Those go into the grayed out boxes, and that would be bar number 5, 6, and 10. And the last one, the B7, that goes into the X'd out boxes, the B7 and 9 and 12. So now what we've got is we've got our 12 bar structure with the chords placed in it. And that is going to be the order in which we play our chords. So first thing we've got to do is we go bar number 1, box number 1, and we do a down, down, hit, down, down, hit for an E. You'll notice the strumming pattern, down, down, hit, down, down, hit. You'll notice that that says per bar or per box. So first bar is an E major, you play that strumming pattern once. Then you move on to your next one, which is bar number 2, and that's also got an E. And you play the strumming pattern once with that. Bar number 3, it's an E, same strumming pattern. Bar number 4, another E, same strumming pattern. So you're playing an E major 4 times using that strumming pattern we've learned. Then you move on to bar number 5, and it's the first grayed out bar. And now you have to change your chord to your A major. So you change to A major, and then you play the strumming pattern, down, down, hit, once. Then you're moving on to bar number 6, which is exactly the same as the A with our strumming pattern. Then back to bar number 7, you're going back to the E major. So you change back to your E major, and you do the strumming pattern, down, down, hit. Bar number 8, exactly the same. You're still on your E major, you do the strumming pattern. Then on to bar number 9, which is the first X'd out bar, your B7, and that gets the down, down, hit, just once. Then you straight away are changing to the grayed out box, the A, and you're playing that strumming pattern once. Then you're moving straight to the E major, and you play that strumming pattern for that. And then finally, the last chord, back to the B7, you do the strumming pattern for that. Then what you do is you've completed a 12 bar, but you'll notice that's very short once you've played through it. So what you do is to play a 12 bar, to keep playing it, you just repeat the whole thing. So you go straight back to bar number 1 and you start the loop again. So you play 1 all the way through to the 12 with the appropriate chords, and then you start again, and you start again, and you start again, until you are done. And when you have decided you're finished, and you've been through all 12 bars, then I'll show you in the next video how to end, and you're going to end back on that first bar. So if your first bar is an E chord, then you're just going to play that E. And you can end it how you want. You can play the E and let it ring out, or you can do all sorts of different things. Alright, so what we've learned is we've learned the 12 bar structure. You've learned quite a lot in a short space of time, so stop the video and go over that again. You're basically learning a loop that's sort of presented in a little box structure, and you need to, with time, learn that box structure. We've learned how to put the chords in, and we've learned how to play it again and repeat and to end. So in the next video, I'm going to go through that sort of 4 bars at a time, and we're going to practice playing and strumming the 12 bar. And that is basically the 12 bar structure. Playing the 12 bar blues. Right, so once we've done all the necessary things, we've learnt the chords, the strumming and the structure, we get to going on playing the song. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up 4 bars at a time. So we'll do the top row, then the middle row, and then the third row. And we're just going to slowly go through that, learn to strum and change the chords, and we'll do that twice. So once I've done that and once I've gone through it, you can repeat the video as many times as you need to, and you can practice along until eventually you get it, and then you'll be able to play the 12-bar blues. Right, so first bar, what we need to do is we need to find the E major. So once we've got that, we're going to play. I'm going to strum over here so that you can have a look nice and close how the whole thing is going to play. When you're doing it, I need you to play down here, right on top of that sound hole. Alright, but I'm going to do it over here for now so that you can have a look. Alright, and with our E major, down, down, hit, down, down, hit. And that's all we do. On to the second bar, down, down, hit, down, down, hit. Again for the third bar, down, down, hit, down, down, hit. And the fourth bar, down, 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 hit. It's easy as that. The first 4 bars, very simple, same chord 4 times. Then what we need to do is we need to relax this finger, pick up these 2 fingers and bring them down 2 strings, adding in our first finger to make the A major. Now we're going to strum down and do that strumming pattern. Just like that. Then we do the next bar, which is also an A. And then we are going on to our next bar. So we lift this finger up again, and we take these 2 fingers and we move them up 2 strings back to that E minor position. And we add the first finger in for the E major. And we're going to do that. And then we're playing it again. Good. On to the last set of chords. First finger goes up 1, ring finger goes down 1, and we're at the B7. We do that once. Good. Then we're moving straight back to the A, so you can drop the ring finger down a string. And then we're taking the middle finger and the first finger and we're placing those together. And we do that once. Good. First finger goes up and these 2 fingers shift up to the E minor, and then the first finger in for the E major, and we play that once. Good. Then for our last bar, first finger up 1, ring finger down 1, and we're at the B7, we play that once. And we have completed the 12 bar very slowly. So we're starting again. Ring finger goes up a string, back to the E minor, and this finger back down a string to the E major. And we do that once. Then we do the second bar again. Third bar. Fourth bar. Good. First finger goes up. These 2 fingers go down 2. You're adding in your first finger for the A. And we play that. Then we do it again. First finger goes up. These 2 fingers go up 2 frets, up 2 strings into the E minor, make it the E major, and we do that. Then we do it again. Good. Last row. First finger up 1, ring finger down 1, making that B, the triangle. Once. Good. Then ring finger down a string. And you let the middle finger and the first finger fill in for the A. first finger goes up, these two fingers up too, first finger back in for the major, third thinnest, first fret, and then finally first finger up, ring finger down, and we do that on the B7 now, we do that once, and then first finger down, ring finger up, and we're back at the E major, which would be the start of the song again, but we're going to end by playing it once. Right, and that is basically how your fingers move and how your chord changes are for the 12-bar blues. So what you're doing now is you're just practicing that over and over and over. You're following along with me and you practice moving between the chords. Then what I want you to be able to do is, after you've sort of done that and you're comfortable with that, just refer to the song in your notes, have it printed out, and I want you to play on your own, very slowly to that, until you get it. And you can play the thing over and over and over, and you practice moving your fingers and playing the appropriate strumming for each chord. Once you've done that a number of times, then you're basically playing the song, and all you need to do is make sure there's no gaps in between the chords, and you're changing, so you can practice with chord changes. E 4 times, A twice, E twice, then your last row, B, A, E, and B, and you practice just moving between those chords until you can do it nice and fast. Then you're strumming one strumming pattern for each chord, and you've done the 12-bar blues. So that would be how to play the 12-bar blues. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the song very slowly in the next video. So once you've practiced this section and you've done it really well, then you'll be focusing on the next video, which will be playing along to me. And that is basically playing the 12-bar blues. And there we have it, lesson 8. This week we've learned another song. We've learned 12 bar blues. What you need to do, like with all the other lessons, is just break it down section by section. Learn the chords, learn the strumming, then learn about the 12 bar structure, and then very slowly put it together and watch that section over and over and over and over, where we're applying the chords to the strumming and just keep playing it over and over. And then your goal is to try and get to the point in the last video where I'm playing the thing through. I play it 4 times and I end the video and I end the song. So that's your goal, to be able to play that and play along with me. It's not going to take that quick, so give it lots of time and practice. It's going to take time, so give it a week or 2, just slowly practicing through that until you get to that point. I've included it at a sort of nice slow pace, and then I've included a slightly faster one, a little bit more up tempo. So when you get to that part, make sure you're tackling the slower video and then the slightly faster one. And that's it. So if you need to find us on Facebook, you can at the Sound of Art Cape Town. You can even post in your queries, we'll get back to you and all that sort of stuff. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and looking forward to lesson 9.